This show, of course, comes from the world of Power. So how familiar, how big of fans were you guys with Power before signing on to the show?
My family loves Power. They're huge fans. I was a little bit late to it, but I was like getting all these sort of distilled summaries from them for years before I kind of got into it.
You know the power is something about how it travels by word, you know?
Right.
And so
Precisely.
I had the same thing as well, where I have friends.
It's hard to escape.
Right.
Yeah.
Tell me about why you think fans of Power are gonna love this next series.
Ooh, that's a good one. I think,
It has the hookiness in the sense of that. I think that Tanya and Courtney, and you know, Courtney has that vision where I think she sees how people tick. I think that she's almost like an anthropologist in that way, where they examine these really primal things, like we've been talking about how there's these really primal hooks with these more heart-forward romance storylines, the marriages, the fault lines that they exist on, the tensions, the stakes.
It's also like this sort of operatic fantasy thing that weaves the episodes and the families together. I think maybe that might be one way it's similar, one way it's dissimilar. I feel like it's just a little bit more heat, more action on this side.
You know that cooking book, like Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat? Like these are the basic elements of cooking. It feels like that's what they do so well.
Yes.
So this show has that great meal in that sense of like you keep coming back for the salty and sweetness.
Right. Real men live by our own set of rules.
Nah, real men know right from wrong.
Big man, yeah.
4 perps set high-level targets, changing their MO every time.
Do you think this is that same crew you've been looking for?
I know it. They killed my partner.
The officer down. Come on, man.
The show's action-packed. So tell me about the training, because we see a lot of muscles, but we also see a lot of weapon work. So tell me about what went into preparing.
We were on 2 separate sides, so I'll let him speak to this.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was so important. You're playing a criminal mastermind. You need to come across like these are just an extension of your fingers to be able to move the weapons and reload. I mean, at the most base level, being able to do that and look like you're capable on screen was very important. So we put months, and shout out to Tim, shout out to Kevin, shout out to all our people making us look like we actually do this in real life.
Yeah, I was training with a lot of this bad A woman named Nina Hobson, who is part of this Torchstone Tactical. So getting out in the field and training with you, because I don't have a good relationship with law enforcement my whole life, but that allowed me to connect with these elite operatives. And so to be, because I was thinking if this person is a detective at that level at 36, he really had to get into the weeds with it. So we made sure that we mean business when we're on screen.
Yeah, and a lot of it had to we had to train as a unit. For co-train.
That's right.
It's a few of us, 4 of us, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, it's 4 of us. So it had to seem like we were one foot, one team, whatever that analogy is. Yeah. So on the day, it would feel like that, because you only get so many takes, and then moving on.
So did the gym routines change at all with preparing for these roles?
I think up here it did.
Okay.
How does because hunger of it.
Right. I think it's important because the body is the first sort of tool of the vessel to know authenticity. Like the body can't lie. So I think being in my body for Coltrane, it's actually one line. I think it got taken out, but it was. He's referring to like how many macros he eats. I was like, okay, cool. That's some aesthetic, that's some physique DNA that I need to get in and start doing, which I did a little bit of. And naturally, once you start getting scientific in the same way that the character would, that's the thing, you get the benefit from what the character is doing. So start looking in the mirror and be like, okay, Coltrane. I count my macros. I say Coltrane.
He's not your guy. He's a reformed black businessman who turned his life around. Think of what you could cost him if you're wrong.
Think of how many more people will die if I'm right.
Remember we said we'd be out.
One more big job, and then start the next chapter of our lives.
These characters are so good and bad. They are clearly Nemesis, the definition of a Nemesis to each other, but at the end of the day, I do think they are more similar than they are different. So how did you relate to it yourself as you're bringing these characters to life, like you said?
You just said like what it's all about is that they're more similar than they are different. I think that's one of my biggest hopes for takeaways from the audience is like that we all are All of every creed, every ethnicity, we're more similar than we are different.
And even when we're at each other's necks like that, you know, because I think and it's hard for them to see that reflection, right? Like for them to own up to that, to those similarities.
Right. Because it would be easier to just completely castigate certain members out of society for X, Y, Z. But meanwhile, you look at these characters, you're like, wait a second, you might have a point. And you start realizing, okay, well, the circumstance that we actually are is molding these people.
And I think that context that, you know, the writing, like what you bring up with Courtney, is that it places these high stakes and these climactic moments, but into the context of real human family dynamics and things where you might go like, yeah, but I kind of can see, like, that's crazy, but I kind of get it.
I got a real ambition.
When two people meet, one yields to the other. You're playing with fire. You got it all wrong. See, I'm Prometheus. I bring the fire.
We see some crazy things in the show. We see a manhunt. We see multiple shootouts. Take me back quickly to your most intense day on set. What was it like for you? Did it feel as intense shooting these crazy shootout scenes as it was to watch?
Working with the people we worked with made every day easy. You know, we had the best crews, the best department heads that we were able to work with. So I think that flew by, but I think that the hours could be long, you know, 12, 15, 16-hour days. And on those hard shoots, though, but it's so fun.
It's so much fun. Like the inner child, and all of that is just like, yo, we get to play real life. Well, not real life, but in our real life, doing what we love to do, we get to play cops and robbers. That's something I would always play when I was young. You know, get to go out there and act like, you know,
in Los Angeles,
in
like
Los Angeles,
Hellcat.
Like childhood dreams.
It's just fun. It's fun.
Well, we're hopeful for a season 2. I mean, are we going to see Nemesis go abroad because Coltrane's on the run?
Coach is on the run.
Might go to Long Beach.
We got to surrender to the circumstances, and it might mean us. Shout out to Netflix going somewhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Or Italian heist.
Or Italian heist. We got to see. Maybe we pick up a few languages or see what languages the brothers already know.
And once again, Torrance.
You know what I'm saying? Florence.
Torrance.
Torrance
or Florence.
I mean, these fellas find themselves in all kinds of chaos that they can somehow get themselves out of. So I don't doubt Florence, new identity.
There we go.
Yeah.
Jason Bourne
Styles right behind.
He's taunting me.
Why can't I get through to you, Isaiah? Where are you?
Find a way to shut him down. Or you going back inside. Or worse.
We're gonna take everything back.
You got eyes on him?
And we're gonna take it in blood.
Cash, yeah. Drop in my bag, yeah.